Today we're going to jump into a Reddit thread that was removed less than 24 hours after it was posted. It seemed by like admin or something. It's very unusual and you won't be able to find this anywhere else. The Reddit thread was posted under, it must have been something about dreaming or lucid dreaming, and the title is I Met Someone I Shouldn't Recognize. And it starts off like this. I debated posting this for months. I know exactly how it sounds. When I was younger, around 14 or 15, I got obsessed with lucid dreaming. I spent years trying different techniques, keeping dream journals, all that stuff. Most of the dreams are long gone now. I barely remember any of them, just random fragments, places that don't exist, conversations I can't fully recall, faces that faded years ago. There was one reoccurring person, though, from the dreams, or at least I think there was. A girl, not every dream, not even often, just enough that I remembered she existed. The strange thing is, I couldn't actually describe her. If you asked me 10 years ago what she looked like, I couldn't tell you. I only remembered the feeling of recognizing her whenever she appeared, like running into an old friend. Over time, I stopped lucid dreaming altogether. Life happened, work, relationships, I forgot about all of it. Then about a year ago, I started noticing someone. Not in a creepy way, just when I'm out and about, at the grocery store, traveling, a bookstore, a coffee shop. It's always briefly, always gone before I thought too much about it, but every time I saw her, I had the same reaction, that weird feeling when you know someone, but can't place where you know them from. I figured maybe she went to high school with me, or worked somewhere I'd been before. I never approached her, never even thought about it too much until about 6 months ago. I was leaving a coffee shop when someone bumped into me hard enough to spill their drink. We both apologized and looked at each other. Not in a romantic, like movie kind of way, but more like we were both trying to solve a puzzle in our mind. I remember thinking, how the hell do I know you? She spoke first. She said, "Sorry, I thought you were someone else." Something about that made my stomach drop. Not fear, but recognition. I heard in her voice, like hearing a song you haven't heard in 15 years. I couldn't place it, but I knew it. For the rest of the day, it bothered me. Then that night I had a dream, my first vivid dream in years. There was a park, a bench, a girl sitting on it, and when I woke up I remembered not everything, just enough. The face, her face, it was the woman from the coffee shop. I spent the next week digging through old boxes until I found my old dream journals. Most of them were nonsense, but her name appeared everywhere. Pages from years apart, references I didn't even remember writing. Dreams, they get lost sometimes. Entire entries describing conversations with someone who looked exactly like the woman I met. The weird part wasn't that she appeared. The weird part was how normal it seemed, like I'd known her for years. I eventually ran into her again. This time I introduced myself, and we talked for hours. And the entire conversation felt familiar, not because we'd met before, because it was like we were continuing a conversation that had been interrupted a long time ago. I never told her about my old dreams, not at first. I didn't want to sound insane. A few weeks later, she asked me a question, a simple question, one that still bothers me. She asked, "Do you still draw the city?" I asked, "What city?" And she looked confused, then immediately changed the subject. And I remember when I looked at my journals before, I checked them again, and buried in the entries from over a decade ago, was the same phrase repeated dozens of times. The city. No description, just the city. Apparently I dreamed about the city constantly. I don't remember any of it. I asked her about it next time I saw her, and she got very quiet, then asked, "How much do you remember?" I told her almost nothing. That seemed to upset her. A few days later, she disappeared. Phone disconnected. Apartment vacant. Empty. Employer claimed she'd quit months before I met her. No social media, no old photos, no friends, no family, nothing. It's like every trace of her stops 3 years ago. The reason I'm posting this is because of what I found yesterday inside of one of the journals. And there was a folded page. I don't remember writing it. It contained a list of things. Places, names, dates, all crossed out. At the bottom was a single sentence in my handwriting, dated 11 years ago. She finally figured out how to get here. I have no memory of writing that. What's bothering me isn't the note, it's that after reading it, I suddenly remembered something. Not clearly, just a fragment, a conversation. The girl asking me a question, the same question over and over for years. I never remembered it until yesterday. The question was, "When I wake up, will you recognize me?" Very, very weird. Yeah. Here's another that got taken down. I don't know where this one may have came from, like what thread. The title, it just says, "Does anyone else remember the 4th emergency broadcast?" And it, starts out like this. "I know this sounds insane, but hear me out. Back in 2012 or 2013, something like that, around 2 a.m., my TV cut to an emergency alert system broadcast. Not weather, not an Amber Alert, not a test. There were 4 tones instead of 3. I remember because my dad came downstairs immediately and asked if I heard it too. The screen was black except for white text, and it said, 'Do not acknowledge the individuals outside.' Then a countdown started from 60. No location, information, no explanation of what that means. But when the countdown hit 0, the broadcast ended, and it just went back to just whatever was on before. I brought it up years later, and my dad swore he never saw it. My brother says he remembers me talking about it the next day, but not actually seeing it himself. The weird part is, every time I search for it, I find old forum posts mentioning it, but the posts are always deleted. There's just screenshots sometimes, but the accounts that uploaded them are just gone. Pretty funny, because that's exactly what happened to this post. It's all just like redacted with the title. But goes back to, I finally found one archived thread from 2014 where multiple people described the exact same message, and it now returns 404. If anyone else remembers this, please comment or say something before it gets buried again and just gets deleted. It looks like at the bottom, it's like an edit, and it says, several people have messaged me saying they remember a different phrase, and it was, "Do not let them know you can see them." also very weird. I don't remember that version.